And now you do funny, cool shit. Like it's you're getting much better.
I'm more like a 51-year-old man.
No,
it's gotten better, but it's still, it's not nowhere where it needs to be.
I guess the proper term is it can be pretty dad
turn the
jokey.
game down a little bit.
Ooh. Don't have the game on yet. Hasn't
There.
Game.
Yep, you got Matt Echo, just so you know, B.
Yeah, I know.
All right, is that better?
Machine gun like.
That's
Will
so
Hackler, Chad's comments on LinkedIn are like dad.
He's just
dad
trying
jokes.
to win CBC's votes over here. That's
Off to a good
cool.
start, dude.
Yeah. Just realize it's not started yet, sir.
Greg, we might need feedback on Keenan Allen's activity before starting the game. I need to know if he stays in tonight or not. So be ready.
Questions?
Hey, did you guys know that they started Pipeline again today? World Surfing League got back on for round 3. Kelly Slater won his heat, and it's been pretty good. So yeah, man.
When you say it like that, it sounds really, really interesting.
I can't
Chad
talk
and
football, so I
Mark?
just wanted to try to talk sports.
Yeah, B.
Did you see Tiger Woods and his son?
Brandon's trying to get
together
mics figured out. Yes, B.
Get your mics.
Speak loud for a second. Like,
Loud.
All right.
That good enough?
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah, look at that. Webb saying my LinkedIn is the new must follow. It's so entertaining because I only comment instead of post. It's fantastic.
I'm not going to comment. Chad's an influencer.
Right.
All right.
Oh,
Greg, you get a
Will.
point.
Watch out. I think Will is like Cold Stone sober for this show. Exfluencer. He's gonna be sharp
That's the
today.
new one.
I don't want to
Was it you or Justin that says
the only reason I put my 805 so you could see them is because Kate put her natural light so you could see it. So I just followed her little trend.
Yeah.
I
Trend
like
setter.
it.
Here we go. We're starting the show. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning back in. It's the season finale. If we've ever had such a thing as a season, that's not really something we do. But I mean, if it's this, you could call this a season finale because next week is Christmas Eve. So we're not going to have a show then. And then the week after that is New Year's Eve. And I'm going to be fucking plastered. So we can't do the show then.
Why?
JD, that level of plastered right there?
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
So we will be back on January 7th with a phenomenal guest. We've got Dick Darian. I think I'm getting his name right from Wise Rhino, but this guy's the master of mergers, acquisitions. He's behind all the big ones that have happened. So we'll be able to pick his brain on some cool shit.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It means
Who cares about next guest? Let's focus on the one we have here.
very good. Very good. I was just kind of talking about how we had 2 weeks off, but fair enough, Mark.
Yeah.
Hey,
Supposed to do
we
that.
want to give you a warm hug. Imagine our arms around you.
Aww.
Imagine that it's not COVID. Thank you so much for joining us, Kate. I'm gonna give you a proper intro here in a little bit. To all of you tuning in, I'm throwing the same love at you, man. You keep coming back every week. You keep joining this little ruckus, and we appreciate it. I had a thought. We need like a secret handshake or something. So when COVID's done and we go to like national conferences and things, maybe not a handshake. It should be like a shout out because handshakes will not be cool. Yeah. Some kind of
Little rascals.
or you know how the Goonies said, like, what did the Goonies say? Like,
Goonies never die.
Never
Goonies
say die. So here's what I envision. Marcus walking down the convention center hallway. One of you guests are
Ignoring everybody, just looking at my phone. Yeah.
That's
Trying to
fine.
take his way to the bathroom because he's still hammered.
Right.
Even better. And then if Will Hackler's on the other side walking the other way and he sees you, he shouts out our version of Goonies say never die or whatever.
Fantastic.
Maybe it's not the best idea, but I
I
want
like
to do
the
it.
idea, but we got to know what it's going to be.
Yeah, it's got to be
Well-
way better than that.
We got to find out what that is. We'll see. Someone can come up with it on the show today, or Mark's a genius, so we'll come up with something like that. Our guest. We've had a lot of big shots on this show, right? We've had the IntelliSense CEOs, and we've had the Chetneys and the Friedrichs and the fancy pants Nevin Adams. But you know what? I think it's probably better to have someone who's on the front lines, like a legit financial advisor that doesn't have to talk surface level headlines. We could get deep into the weeds. She's a CFP, so that's pretty legit. I don't know if she's a fart. I don't see the fart designation on the end.
I don't think so.
So she's
Well,
not
That's
a
a step above CFP. She's got to earn her way there.
okay. She's not there yet, but she'll
Right.
get there eventually. She's the managing partner of Cypress Capital. She kills fish. I've seen via her Instagram that she's not afraid to murder a fish. Her and her husband actually raise cattle. I'm assuming they kill the cattle too, unless it's some type of vegan cattle like adoption program. Is that what you guys do?
Yeah, of course. That's how
Therapy
you make
cows.
profit.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Kate Clark. Kate Clark.
Thanks,
Ooh.
guys.
Can you do this and drink Natty Ice at the same time, or Natty Light? I don't know.
You
Those two
apparently have
things.
not done a lot of research. I am a former rodeo queen, so I got this wave down pat.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Were you?
don't-
I can't go there.
we don't know.
Please
what that
go
means
there.
in
What were you gonna
California.
say?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's
I'm
a
kinda
common type of
curious
riding.
now.
I was going to ask if she was riding bareback, but that's a terrible thing to ask somebody.
Whoa! What the
We're all,
fuck,
we're all
Chad?
adults here.
I mean, it's
Okay, let's move
that's
on.
My father-in-law rode. He
Well,
laughed.
technically, so we just wrapped up the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo and bareback riding. It's an event there. It's a legit
Okay.
event.
Fair
But no.
enough, Chad. I apologize, Chad. You have people in Missouri. I know that. I don't know these things. Let's go on to housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Don't think you're sleeping.
Make sure you're in gallery view. That way you can see all of us at the same time. It's up in the top somewhere. Hover over it, find it. We're going to have a CBC champion. That's for sure. So we're not going to be back for 2 weeks. I mean, you will be the CBC champion until next year. So
Right.
this is a big one.
Impressive.
I'm going to pay close attention. You do not forget, Kate. You also must give a vote at the end of the show. It could be a make or break vote. So pay attention to who is the best in the chat bar. And
JD, do you remember who's reigning right now? Who can't?
I have
win
no
tonight?
idea. Oh, well, Greg won last week, right?
Greg won last week, so
I
Pretty
won
sure.
a few weeks ago.
he
You
usually
did.
wins.
That's right. You are a past champion.
Oh,
Very
man.
well done. Wow.
First
This is the
ever.
first ever
yeah.
past champion on the show.
CBC and guest.
Is that true?
I don't
Yeah.
think there's ever been another
Oh.
CBC as a guest.
That might be Hall of Fame worthy.
Huh.
Justin does keep our statistics for our soon-to-be Hall of Fame
Nice.
nominations.
And Mrs. Brandrup is going negative points already.
What'd he say?
I haven't missed much. He always talks shit about how long it takes us to start the
Here
show.
we go.
A little tip of the cap to Greg, but no CBC points obviously for that this week. But we're gonna go prohibitive word, same as last week. Okay, that shit was super
Love
cool. It keeps you on your toes. It can bleed into a variety of subjects. So here we go, boys. No acronyms. However, I'm going to claim that my name is not an acronym. For
I
this
agree.
Show.
All right.
That hurt
All
last
right.
week.
All right.
Hello.
Fine.
No. Okay.
Can I use any acronyms?
All
It's tough.
in favor. Yeah.
It's tough.
Turn on the heater.
Before we get started, or I should say,
Okay.
let's start, Kate. But why don't you tell the audience a little bit about you and a little bit about Cypress Capital
Okay.
and what's brought you to the point you're at today?
Okay. All right. Well, so I graduated from the University of Florida.
Gators.
That's right. Go Gators. I
didn't say
went
go
to ag school there and then went straight into finance like anybody does. So spent 3 years in 2007, spent 3 years on operations, marketing, compliance, that side of thing, got licensed, was back office. And then decided that after going through the Great Recession and seeing everybody that had been in the business for 30 years, 40 years, having to start over, I said, what better time to actually start? So in 2010, I left the firm that I was with at the time and joined a small broker dealer that's based out of Georgia, and decided to be a client-facing advisor. And then ultimately broke off, helped one of the owners align with the broker dealer I'm with now, LPL Financial, and then spent a couple years under that, and then decided, that's it. Oh, come on.
It's
Yeah.
gotta be.
Linsco, you want me to say Linsco Private Ledger?
Yeah,
Yes,
it
we do.
sucks.
Oh my
I never knew
God.
what that stood for.
Had no
so-
clue, and now I know. I was
It's
8
weird.
years old when I figured that out.
I feel like that doesn't count as an acronym.
No.
If Beatty's name doesn't count, like that shouldn't count. But
Oh,
whatever.
So wrong,
Fine.
so wrong, so
So
wrong.
wrong.
But then in 2018, February of 2018, decided to hang my own shingle and launch Cypress Capital.
Now, do you really have a shingle, or is that just a metaphor?
I mean, I guess typically there's the shingle on the
There's
roof.
a sign outside, right? There's a
Yeah.
sign outside. Very cool. We're going to have some conversations later today in that. I would say in a pretty quick time frame, you've added and you've got people on your team that are not just you. We're going to touch on that a bit. I also have learned you're very much a nerd when it
Yeah.
comes to financial services. And I think that's maybe why you and Chad get along so well.
Yes.
You're a stickler for the details. Chad has spreadsheets for everything.
Yep.
I'm sure he's got a spreadsheet for the Christmas gifts he's purchased this year.
We use an app for that, JD.
Okay, sorry.
Jeez.
Called Excel.
So let's talk a little bit about the nerd in you and the metrics that you keep as an advisor. I asked you when we sat together earlier this week, like, do you track things? You mentioned something called wallet share.
Yeah.
Is this kind of concept of yours? So talk to me about the metrics you're keeping on your clients, the goals you're setting, and this thing you call wallet share
Yeah.
or
So
concept.
I think one of the most important guiding principles that was instilled in me in the beginning in 2010. I had a senior advisor sit me down and said, because I was starting at zero, right? Everybody starts at zero essentially, and he said, "Listen, all you need to do, don't worry about trying to get assets under management. Focus on opening 100 accounts your first year, 100 accounts." And I thought about that and I was like, okay, I can break that down. That's easy. He goes, that will teach you discipline. That'll teach you how to be efficient. And then from there, it'll give you a foundation to grow from. And so that's what I focused on in my first year. I opened over 100 accounts my first year. Now, every account counted. So it didn't matter that it was a $5,000 or a $0 contributory IRA. Every account counted. It was just the principle of going through those motions. So that was really important. And I think that kind of launched me on the right footing.
It sounds like it would for sure be like a fast track to getting comfortable in what you're doing, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which is pretty valuable.
Yeah. And, I'm the kind of person where I need to know the inner workings. I need to know how to open the account before I can really talk about the account, because I like to sit down with the client and explain to them what to expect, right? It's all about setting expectations, and that's where you gain your greatest success. So if you can't communicate to a client what is actually going to happen within these next couple of weeks when they transition business over to you, then you're leaving yourself open for things to go wrong, and then for that client to start losing trust, right? You only have one time to make that first impression. So for me, it was really important starting out to understand all of the intricacies of how to open an account, how a transfer actually happens, the rules behind every single account. And then from there, that gave me the foundation where I could then gain confidence and go out and try and secure some of the larger accounts.
When did retirement plans become part of the vision? And where do you stand today in terms of your book? Like what percentage of it is your individual clients versus retirement plans?
Yeah. So actually, qualified plans was the reason I wanted to be a client-facing advisor. That was the sole purpose. In fact, I went to my managing partner at that time, and I said, having gone through the Great Recession and seeing that people were still contributing, those that had jobs were still contributing to their 401k plans, every payroll. And I went, you know what? This is an area of the business that we don't participate in. This particular firm didn't. And so I sat down with them and I said, this is what I want to do. I want to go after qualified plans. And, in all fairness, and he was an incredible mentor. In all fairness, he had a marketing machine that just didn't allow for somebody else to go into production. And he said, no, I really love you in the role that you're in. And that's where I want to see you grow. And I've always had a problem when somebody says no, or you can't do something. I'm like, oh, damn it. I wish you hadn't said that, because now I feel like I have to go and prove that I actually can do this. So we parted
Or
ways.
that you shouldn't.
Or that
As
I
we get
should.
into Peps and
Yeah.
Next, Kate. That's
Yeah. I've got whipped.
Tell me about when I asked you about if you kept track of a lot of things.
You don't have to
You
shoot it, okay?
you made this vision for me that you pay close attention to all of your current clients.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
the different services that you offer them. And I got the idea that you and your team are really looking to kind of see which clients you might be able to add certain services to, obviously when appropriate. So tell me a little bit more how you look at that.
Yeah. So when I left that firm and went into, the firm in which I, started my career as an advisor, what I found was really unique is we had the advantage because we were our own broker dealer. We were a very small operation, our own broker dealer and our own RIA. But we also had a separately licensed insurance agency. And I thought that was really cool because they did individual wealth management, qualified or corporate plans,
Right.
and then group benefits. And this type of cross-selling, diversified revenue was one of it, but also increasing wallet share with a client, right? Because at the end of the day, very few clients do you have that relationship with in which they have 100% of their assets with you, right? Even if they tell you that, most of the time that's not always true, right? They're always trying to keep something else on the side. So if you can increase wallet share, then your profitability as a firm goes up, right? Because in theory, you don't have to add more personnel to service that.
So when you say that, you mean, you go ahead, Chad.
Did you explain wallet share yet?
Well, apparently it means you
I don't know
you want to get more share of their wallet, right? And I think that's an important, yes. And I think that's an important point because we're also getting this concept now of we're not evil people selling things, trying to get more dollars from our clients.
Nope.
We're really looking for services that they need, and that you already provide, and that maybe even supplement and or help the services that you're providing them already, right?
Absolutely. So in instances where I do have that relationship, where I've taken on that wallet share, all of the wallet or the majority of the wallet, most of the time I'm actually—
What's in your wallet?
I'm saving the client money because I have a truly in-depth look at exactly what's going on with their financial picture, whether it's on their business side and it has to do with their employee benefits, whether it's their corporate 401k plan or any type of, qualified plan that they might have, and then their personal wealth management. And so that for me is kind of, the grand slam of when I have that level of relationship with a business owner, because I can truly get into the nitty gritty details, to help them.
And I will second this for Kate, that comment, Kate, because it was super impressive to me. And I called you after one of our point of sales together where you went down a path with the client. They made a statement, I really want ortho included in the dental benefits for our employees. And you're like, okay, I know what your budget is. So if we include ortho, which is super expensive, and you want more than $1,000 of ortho covered, here's what it's going to cost you. And if we have a budget, then here's where we need to pull from. it was a really big picture about all of their benefits.
Yeah.
And you were seeing it all in this conversation. It
Yeah.
was super impressive. I get now the wallet share side of things, and it really is working out in the client's benefit as it is yours.
I want to move on a little bit, but even Michael Webb brings up and he goes, I'm kind of getting a little lost here because all my clients are plan sponsors, but he's cool. He's being nice. But this goes back to this thing that we've talked about in all these weeks past, and I love hearing from Kate because she's the perfect example. She's not this big shot national firm that's trying to get their hands on all these different areas of business. She's a small shingle hanging financial advisor with a small staff that understands the importance of offering a variety of services to her clients. And so Michael, and again, we'll move on because I know Mark will get mad at me here in a second, is you can still survive as a 401k only advisor. We've talked about that. And of course, there's many ways to skin a cat. Who skins cats?
Stop saying that.
You need to
Jeez.
find another one, JD.
But you
Another
Kate
analogy
does.
to use there.
They do that on the cattle ranch. They do that on the cattle ranch. You can, but Michael, I think we're trying to say that we think a lot of advisors should consider creating a business model like Kate's and like some of these national firms where they're offering more than just retirement plan services to their clients. And for me to say that now in 2020, the 2015 JD would hate me, but I really do think that that's where this whole business is going.
JD, I'd add to that. Even if you want to just kind of have a narrow niche in what you do, then find a partner.
Niche.
Find a partner.
Niche.
We say niche in the South.
Niche.
You don't have to be the jack of all trades. You can bring on
Exactly.
resources.
But find a partner that's going to work with you. So, I'll give you an example, and where retirement plan advisors really need to be on the watch for is that if you are solely focused on corporate plans, defined contribution, defined benefit, whatever, you need to be aware of the competition out there, these PNC firms that are coming into the market.
What'd you say?
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Keep going.
These
Continue your
property and
thoughts.
casualty firms that are coming into the market like a hub. That is not an acronym.
It could be.
No,
Are you sure
it's
about
not
that?
capitalized. It's
It
capital
depends
A.
on how you're using it.
Yeah. We'll give you one of these.
Okay. All right.
I don't know about
You can
that.
Google that
I'm
one.
gonna look
Fact
that
check me.
up.
But
She's
like
good.
a hub, for instance, and not to pick on hub, they're good at what they do, but they have stepped into the qualified plan market, and it's essentially a loss leader for them. It's a way for them to, get their foot in the door to pick up other property and casualty business, as well as group benefits.
Tom Condren, what does hub stand? Dang it. What does it stand for?
Will doesn't even know how to spell.
It
Well,
does not
D, not
stand
D,
for
bro.
housing and urban
It's
development.
got a lowercase u and a lowercase b. And last time I checked, that did not mean
Well,
acronym.
that's
You're
the
good. I looked
definition
at
of acronyms. You can't have lowercase in them.
No,
JD.
it's capitalized.
JD,
Yes, John.
Can we talk about Webb's
No.
comment in there?
No,
That
we
plan
cannot.
sponsors see it as a conflict of interest if the
Did he say
participants
that?
are your clients.
Webby.
Because
What?
that's something that I've struggled with in the past, and I
Oh,
just
wait.
mentioned to Tom
Read that
Condren that that's
again.
going to change.
Wait
What's
a second.
that?
What is this?
Okay, so
So
this
Webb
is a
had a comment.
this is a common complaint.
Okay.
The fact that we've heard this a lot in the past, that a plan sponsor wants the advisor to only work on the plan, the fiduciary review, helping the participants with general education, and not to sell them other things. And I get you. I of course, there are clients that feel that way. I would be curious on
Yeah.
Kate's thoughts,
Mhm.
but there are also clients and plan sponsors that don't feel that way. So Kate, what are your thoughts on that?
So then how do you know if whether or not your participant contributions are at the appropriate level if you don't understand what the group benefits side is doing? Because on the group benefits side, a lot of those agents that don't have to act in a fiduciary capacity are pushing products. And so things you've
Great
got,
comeback.
I'm not going to pick on any companies, but you have products out there that specialize in, accident, hospital indemnity programs, and employ those agents that represent those companies are compensated to sell and push those products.
Yeah.
That's where those
Greed,
dollars go to.
for lack of a better word, is
You're right.
good.
You're right,
And
Kate.
So then all of a sudden, especially when we're talking about people that are maybe making, minimum wage or one step up from minimum wage, all of their money is spent on these insurance products and not contributing to a defined contribution plan.
I think you're just saying that the 401k advisor, I probably shouldn't even call them that, is in the best seat to help people with all things if they can have the right setup. And I don't really think that this is an argument that that there's a victor on one side or the other. I think that Michael Webb could continue to grow his business, and he could walk into prospects and say, look, I'm a dedicated 401k person, so don't worry, I'm not going to sell your people other things. Whereas Kate can walk in and say, I don't agree with that. The best way for me to service your participants is to sell them other things. And I think both are going to win.
Selling. It's not selling.
It is for other people. That's
Sure.
not you, but other people are pitching a product.
Right.
They're in there selling things that maybe the participants don't need. JD, what I heard from you, which is what I think the industry needs to transition from, is you can be a 401k only advisor. You can be hired to be the consultant on the 401k, or you can be hired as the advisor to call it the company, where it is not just conversations around the 401k that you're having. But I think that needs to be communicated in the sales process, not, hey, I'm here to bid on your 401k. And now while I'm in the middle of a 401k education meeting, I'm talking about sit with me and we'll discuss life insurance and long-term care and these other things. Like that to me is the conflict of interest that plan sponsors don't want.
You couldn't argue with that, but let's wrap this and let's be very clear. Let's just remind ourselves, this is what's happening is Hub an acronym? God damn it. At Hub, at One Digital, at all these national firms. Obviously, it's what's happening at Cypress, this little firm. I just got news for you all. This is what is happening in the industry on a big way. And again, I don't think the others can't exist, but please understand that is what's going down. And so it might be smart for little shops to create solutions that can help, whether they're partnering or not partnering or what have you.
I think if at the end of the day, if you're a retirement plan advisor and your goal is retirement readiness for participants, then you have a responsibility to understand what these employees are purchasing outside of retirement contributions.
I hear you. Those are valid. That's valid points. Shannon Edwards, can you stop planning shit on Thursday nights?
Seriously.
You're getting your nails done. You're at Disney World getting COVID. Like, come on. There's a show. It's every Thursday night. There's a show.
Tony just called me out. So I'm going to finish this beer and start a new one.
Stop planning stuff. Let's move on. Let's spin the wheel of ice, bro.
Listening
spin it.
in the world. That's gnarly.
Keep buying those, JD. What the hell?
This
I was
chat
actually
bar is
scared you were going to ship me Smirnoff today.
Oh no.
I was petrified.
Tom's got to explain that one.
What?
Wheel of ice. Wheel of ice.
Did you see it? Yeah. No way.
But there's that, right, Tom?
The chat bar is tough to keep up on, man.
Yeah.
By the way, I want you to know before you all.
What do you mean, everyone?
I want you to know that was legit. 2 weeks in a row, I literally went to Brandon and I'm like, should we cheat and make it everyone since it's the last show of the week? And we both agreed that just wasn't fair, that's not good ethics. So it came up the right way.
I completely randomized that, shuffled it like 10 times.
What's Kate doing there?
Okay.
You putting hot sauce in your beer, Kate? You are. You're putting hot sauce in a Natty Light.
Oh my God. What? We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey,
now Natty Hot.
This is going to take me a little while. Yep. So, Mark, when I get done with this or while I'm drinking this, and Chad, can you walk Kate through when she started by herself and how she's added people, how she's grown her team?
Well, first off, hold on, time out. I always like to make an awkward comment once in a while. I would like to mention the fact that a part of your team is your husband, correct? Yes. Nepotism at its finest.
Yes.
And he is on the show today.
Oh, shit.
Is he still here? Josh?
What's up, Josh?
I
Well,
have seen
Josh is
no.
in the other room, and I think I don't know if I'll be able to convince him to come in here on camera.
Oh, no. You don't have to convince him.
Okay.
I'm just saying I'm seeing no activity, no chats, no nothing. But I do give him kudos and I commend him from joining. And that makes me really excited when I see that. So Josh,
Oh, yeah.
Josh, we see you. We know you're here. We love you. Thank you.
Listen,
And that's a
the guy's
really
amazing.
smart thing to do.
He's amazing. We met in college. I know this is not what you want to hear, but I think it's cool. We met in college and we were really good friends in college. And then all of a sudden we started dating and then got married. I was 23. We've been together for a long time.
Oh, true love.
It
Aw.
is.
So you're 25. It's been 2 years.
Yeah,
And you guys still love each other.
We've
That's
been
good.
married. It's wedding bliss.
That's good. By the way, there must be some handy talents between you and him because I saw something about a hurricane hitting the house, destroying the spare bathroom. You guys fixed that thing up. Tell you, it's awesome.
That was a good bathroom, actually.
JD looks homeless right now, chugging his Schmidt.
It looks so good.
Yeah. So fun fact. So Josh is 6th generation on his family land. Our house is almost 100 years old.
Damn.
A lot of heritage. It's really cool. We raise cattle together. He's a
You
team
raise them
roper.
and you kill them, right?
Well, no, we don't typically kill, slaughter our own cattle. It's not efficient. And so
Oh, why do you go use the word slaughter?
slaughter, yeah, the appropriate terminology. It's more efficient and more cost effective for us to sell. So we raise a calf crop. We have a cow-calf operation where we have mama cows that produce a calf crop, and then we sell our calves. And that becomes the steak you eat, JD.
JD doesn't eat steak.
I know.
I wasn't sure if you were aware.
Not me, those poor little
Okay.
cows.
Hey, fill us in. When did you go independent? How did you decide to add people? What was it that caused you to add folks? Was it demand? Was it your knowledge of saying I need to keep growing? Give us some down and dirty so advisors can see when they should start doing the same.
Yeah, so I've been independent from the get-go. I don't know any other way, which is really kind of cool because it's I feel like it's the hardest route. And when you finally do make it, I think it's the most rewarding. So in 2018, launched Cypress Capital. It was just me, but the cool takeaway that I had from the other firm is because I wasn't, one of the, top advisors in all of the firm, I didn't get my own administrative assistant. So I started thinking outside the box and I was like, well, I'll bring on an intern and then support an intern to get licensed, and that will be the compensation. And so I used a similar, process when I launched Cypress Capital because I was really worried. I didn't know how all of this would play out from a financial standpoint. So I brought on an intern, and that has how I've built the employee side. So, I didn't have the money to come out with fancy salaries or anything like that. So I started small. I paid a respectable wage, then paid for all the training along the way. And then as they got designations or training, then I added in, additional compensation. Then I added in benefits, and then I went back to training, and then I went back to compensation. So I've tried to layer this and stair step it again in bite-sized pieces. That the last thing I want to do is hire somebody and then all of a sudden go through a recession and then be like, sorry, I got to let you go. So in doing it like this, and I've always had an, very upfront, open conversation with the team to say, listen, I am not naive to think that Cypress Capital is going to be where you retire from. We're all a young team. So at the very least, I want to give you the skill set and the training to go on so that if you do get that better offer, you feel comfortable enough to come to me to say, hey, listen, I got this opportunity, and we can talk through that. And, hopefully I can hire somebody on to replace you, eventually, and, kind of transition slowly. So I think when you set those type of expectations, you have, you have a team that is there because they want to be there, not because they have to.
Awesome advice.
There's two things I like about that. One is I think a lot of solo business owners, entrepreneurs I can't read what Brandon wrote because my chat bar's over it. Criminal records on the chief. I think they're intimidated, like you said, to hire people, pay them a salary, pay them benefits, et cetera, et cetera. So it can seem very intimidating. And so I like the concept of dipping your toe and using internships to pull that off. I also love, of course, your respect and your care for them in terms of giving them some type of a ladder to keep moving up and getting more. But also at the same time, let's not forget, I wrote in the chat bar that internship is slavery. I don't agree with that at all. When you have someone intern and let's say that they want to work in financial services, it's a phenomenal opportunity for them to learn things, that are real inside a shop that's doing business and gain some real experience that then they can not only put on their resume, but the next time they're being interviewed, it's not like they just have a college degree and nothing to back that up. They've actually worked somewhere. They actually know shit about the industry. My kids are 22 and 18, my two oldest, and they're on this whole college kind of vibe. And I keep trying to let them know that, look, a college degree is not going to be shit in the end. You're going to need experience of some kind in some way in whatever trade you're going to go into. Therefore, I think internship's a great idea.
If it's done properly. I've seen a lot of shitty internships. It's when you take on that responsibility as a presumed leader, and all you have them do is file paper and answer phone calls. That's shitty. That's not experience.
You're getting cheap work is what you're doing.
Yeah, and you can't do that. So even when I couldn't afford to pay an intern, I gave them. I coordinated with the university so they could get credit for the program, and I gave them a curriculum. They had to put together a full financial plan for a mock client. They had to actually learn how to open accounts, and then I supported them to get licensed.
Chad,
and you gave them steps, which I think, JD, kudos to you. You've done this for everybody from day one too, whether it be sales or admin side, has given us opportunities to see growth within the business.
I also pay
which
you
is
fuckers,
huge.
but
well, not always. I mean, we started at some point.
Yeah, Kate called it a fancy salary. That's not what we receive.
Can I
let me ask Kate one question about the team. Kate,
right.
Are you the only producer on the team still?
So yes and no. So breakdown of the team. We have two people that are on the group benefits insurance side. One being my husband, and then we have another.
Josh.
Poor Josh. He's got to go home to me. He's got to see me during the day. It's terrible. And then we have somebody who's our client relationship manager that works with all of our groups on a regular basis. Then on the financial services side, we have two team members. Both of which are fully licensed advisors. Neither one of them have production goals. I don't really like the idea of production goals because, again, I think that's where this industry goes astray, is that we put so much focus on production. And that's also why we have an aging advisor population. It's not conducive to letting young people who are eager, who could really rock this business and really change how people, do business in this industry. We burn them out. And then we thank them for whatever accounts that they brought in their first couple of years. We make it absolutely impossible for them to succeed. So I don't believe in that.
But Chad, I got to ask you though, what do you think that there is a ton of advisors that are just one person shops? Is that still a very predominant thing?
100%.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And many of them are hanging their licensing with a broker dealer, and they're doing so because they're leveraging that back office and they're thinking, I'm at a point where I can keep as much as I can possibly bring in.
Right. And so I want to talk about that. So if that is true, and there's a lot of these single person advisor firms, I really think that they should start planning to add people. To me, there's no other way to really grow a business. And by the way, have some type of work-life balance without hiring people to help you get stuff done. Like, I can't even imagine how someone can get up Monday through Friday and work on everything in their business model without having other people. And so as someone who runs a business, who's got all kinds of different people doing different things and different job criterias, I just can't tell you how much pride you get from that and how much growth you get from that and how much easier things get. And to see Kate do it on even a small level with 4 other people, I'll bet you we turn around and we see Kate in 5-10 years and she's grown at a multiple way higher than those firms that aren't willing to add people. Oh, you don't want to do that.
No.
Wow.
I think there's something sexy about saying small and nimble, but big enough to be able to, actually conquer what we want to conquer, which is, kind of this diversified advice market.
Sure. I think we both agree on that. Like, I don't want to have 75, 100 employees. Like, I want to stay at a certain size. And so you want to stay at a certain size. I feel like Chad and Mark are just like in the chat bar. Like, I look at them, that's just where they are.
No, Chad just poured a shot and took it. And I thought he was going to say an acronym and he didn't.
I typed an acronym. So
I feel like we need another word. Acronym isn't that great.
It's not working that good.
You're just good.
Lame.
You're just good.
Totally lame, JD.
And by the way, you're not taking shots. You're drinking beer for your acronym usage.
Right.
So
I've actually been drinking since 5 o'clock my time. So catch up.
I think.
Wow.
Welcome to the majors.
Left in the box.
Doesn't matter.
I like it.
Really.
Well, this just got real.
I think every advisor, every TPA, every company should definitely have like goals in terms of, hey, what size do you actually want to get to? And I agree with you. I think staying at a certain size that's not necessarily massive can be super advantageous, but planning for work-life balance, to me, it's crucial that you do it with other people. You can't
Absolutely.
possibly have work-life balance if you're doing it by yourself.
This is how we're growing. Okay. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I'm going to say it anyway, because I don't care, whatever. We're the first firm and I'll just leave acronyms out. We're the first firm
just say them.
under our broker dealer where it's taken me a year to fight compliance on this. And there's 16,000 advisors under this broker dealer. We're the first firm that's been able to get approval to co-brand our separately licensed insurance agency under our DBA for investment and securities business. So now where our growth is going to go is we're going to.
I thought I heard one, but then I just.
What did I say?
What did she say?
You said something and insurance services. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
What'd she say?
It says
Fair
right there. Read it. Read the screen,
So,
JD.
Now.
I got my chat bar on top of that.
Now we're going to grow through our advisor audience under Linsco Private Ledger. And we're going to help retirement plan advisors who want to get into the group benefit space, but don't want to be an expert. They want to focus on retirement plans, but instead of having that open window where somebody can come in and steal your plan because they're part of a hub and they do,
still feel like
don't know about that one.
That.
Nope. The chat bar voted. It is.
What did they say? Did someone come up with it?
Chat bar voted and said it is an acronym.
Okay.
It is.
I'll keep picking on them. But instead of being that entity that can swoop in and maybe just does the property and casualty line of business or the group medical and the traditional group benefits, and then, oh, by the way, since we do all of this, why don't we just do your retirement plan? And therefore, we're not going to charge as much. You have a partner. You have a partner that's not going to steal your client away, and it's going to help you from a servicing philosophy because you might be a solo practitioner.
Well, I was just trying to get inspirational and saying that I think if you're a solo practitioner, regardless of that stuff you talked about, Kate, which I think is great, and you should look for partners to help you do things that you're not experienced at doing. But I would just tell you that if you're a solo practitioner, you're intimidated by adding people, I really think you should sit down and should be part of your New Year's resolution, man. Start down that path of trying to add some people. Kate's a great example of how you can do it without a ton of risk And thank you, Tom, for saying that I'm right.
JD,
And only grows so big if, yes, Chad.
I was just going to add, because I feel like most solo practitioners that I speak to, when they think of growing the practice, they immediately go to service, 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 service. And they depend on themselves to be the only producer. And that's why I asked the question of Kate, because very few are willing to say, let me teach a junior, let me get them licensed, let me help them learn this business and allow them to continue to add revenue to what I'm doing. But, and this is why I disagreed with you earlier, because I think that advisors getting into this business at a young age have an opportunity for massive growth and production. And I know you said many of them burn out, and that's because they're going to the broker dealers to start. And that's the spaghetti on the wall analogy. But if they're willing to take the risk like you did and go independent or sit behind a Kate and learn the business, that's when they can have a ultra successful career early, quick.
I might argue and debate with you, Chad. I might say if I was a solo practitioner advisor, the first logical hire I would want to have is someone to take care of all the work that I don't want to do, the preps for the meetings, the analytics, the emails, that type of stuff. And because I've got the charisma and the sales chops, I would continue to produce. And then maybe it would be more like my second or my third hire is going to be that person I'm going to put into sales. But
I can't say I disagree with you there, but in my mind, Kate's saying bringing on a younger person to get licensed and learn this business, that person can service what you're bringing in and be the producer that starts running out there and selling in years 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. What I mean is that if you hire the right person, someone with the charisma as you're describing, JD, you don't have to put that person in service only. That person can be a producer.
Well, let me tell you,
and this is where we do something different. I compensate that associate advisor on that new business that comes in, even if I'm the one who brought it in.
To service it.
Kate, you watch your tongue in the chat bar. You're talking about how you like the idea of peps in my fucking chat bar? Doing your own thing?
There you go, JD, drink.
Hey,
that was his first one.
That's a
world record for JD.
I want to give kudos to 3 gentlemen that I brought on to sell that have had a phenomenal year with COVID in front of them, this headwind of COVID. I get emails every day that these 3 gentlemen here are bringing on new plans. Maybe every day is a bit of a stretch, but every other day.
A lot more.
And I got a few today. You guys are crushing it. You're bringing on so many plans this year. I'm so very, very proud of you. But don't expect any Christmas bonus or any shit like that, man.
Oh, come on.
I already paid enough. But
JD, get this. Justin wrote me today, and Justin, kudos, because I've looked at the same thing, but Justin wrote today and said, hey, we feel good about 2020. You guys realize we're about 6 new clients behind for breaking our January record, and we're December 17th.
I got 2 more today.
Wow.
So we've almost sold more plans for January of next year than we ever have in the history of PDC. So
you guys are crushing it. You guys are absolutely crushing it, and I love it. I love it. I think I'm going to buy another car very soon. I'm not sure what Lambo I'm getting. Brandon, put up the Chad car photo. I love that one.
No.
Mark, you play a game. Let's play your game. What's the name of your game? Let's play your game, Mark. Come on. It's a fun game. Let's do it.
Wow. Well, that's a great introduction. Thanks, JD. Appreciate that. It's Kate, have you ever watched our show before?
Yes. I was chat bar champion.
Halfway through the show, I don't remember what you said in minute 5. I don't pay attention. I don't really pay that much attention. Well, I don't have my intro song going up yet because I guess Brandon's not gonna do it. I'll do it.
What a celebrity.
You don't like it?
No,
I like it sideways.
I don't. Things need to be proportional.
No, I don't like it. It doesn't look as cool.
Chat bar. Tell me who's excited about the Lamer game because it's coming again.
It's gonna be really bad today.
Last one of the year.
Yeah, make it special. All right, I'm just gonna go right into it because Kate, you understand the rules, and I come to you first on every question. Saying usually it's themed around the time of year we're in. So I know New Year's is coming up. The people who either say or put it in email
See you next year.
Why do you look at me when you say I never?
Because I
type
have
that.
to imagine you do that.
No,
That's all.
never.
That's
Okay.
so corny.
Kate, is that lame or are you game?
100% lame.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Chad?
say lame. I don't think I've ever done it, so I'm gonna stick with lame.
Chad.
I really don't.
Okay.
I think that one's lame to me.
Justin?
I'm surprised here that Chad doesn't do it, but yeah, it's lame as shit.
I'm gonna do it now though.
JD?
I'm so game. It's so funny, man. It's like
Right.
it's really only a
Well,
week
right,
away, but you
Dad
say
jokes
it's like
here.
next year, so it's just funny.
Yeah. All
You
right.
would
moving
have
on.
a dad joke, JD.
Yeah. I'm the, yeah, no.
I might
okay.
I'm gonna end the show today with it. I know that.
Perfect. Using your middle name as your first name. Kate?
Okay, so I got a weird thing here. So I'm
Can't do that?
technically named after my mother, so I had to use my middle name.
Hey, we
Kind
don't
of
need
as my first name.
excuses.
Be a
You just-
junior?
Lame or game?
Sort of. So no, game. I'm
Did
doing
you ever have, so is, I'm sorry,
on.
I should have asked this earlier, but obviously I'm just being facetious, but so like Mary's your first name,
Yep.
Kate, Catherine is your middle name.
Mhm.
Did you ever go by like Mary Kate or has it always just been Kate?
I went by Mary. I, had a really like strong independent streak where I was like, everybody called me Kate from the moment, I was born.
Yeah.
And then at one point I was like, I want to go by Mary. And I went for Mary for like a year. And then it was so confusing and so difficult.
Got it. You know what? I'm not going to ask you if it's lame or game. I just want you to say
Okay.
your middle name.
Yeah.
And then your last name. So what is it?
I did that for Greg. My middle name is Kenneth.
So
My
just say-
last name is Johansson.
So your name would be?
Kenneth Chad Johansson.
No.
Just Kenneth Johansson.
Yeah, I like
Kenneth
it.
Johansson.
I like it. All right, Justin, your
Kenneth.
turn. Your turn.
I feel
Daniel.
you don't look like a Kenneth.
It works though.
And the
We all know-
Sunshine
so,
Band.
By the way,
Damn
for
it,
those
Greg,
that don't,
Greg, phenomenal, and the Sunshine Band, but you can't win this week.
Justin, most know, but I have called Justin JD for years because it's Justin Daniel. And I had to stop
Most don't know
calling him
that.
that when we hired him at PDC because JD is JD. You get that? See how, you know how that connects?
Hey, there you go.
So
like
Douglas
that's
like-
McNeil and Douglas Carlson.
No, Daniel McNeil.
Oh,
Wait, what did you call him? Mark? What did you say?
Douglas.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
So Daniel McNeil. Okay. All right. Anyways, moving on. Getting those mass happy holidays emails.
Oh, shit.
That are obviously going to, I don't know.
How many did you get today?
Yeah, right.
Actually, I don't think I got any today.
Okay.
You get them from
you'll
like
get
your.
them tomorrow.
I'm always fearful.
I don't
to
really
talk
care.
during
Like
Mark's
I
game.
feel like, whatever. Most of the time it's, from a wholesaler and it's delete. And
Ouch.
So what
Ouch.
is it a lame or is it game then?
I'm indifferent about it.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Can I answer? I think it's horribly lame. I get it. You want to mass send, but if you want to mass send it yourself. Don't let corporate mass send it.
Yeah.
I've gotten 5 and I'll throw them out. It might be an acronym. I'm not going to throw them out. I've gotten 5 in the last 2 days from one provider because I'm a TPA on some plan.
That's one.
Oh, multiple points of contact in their system. So I get the same message from 15 different wholesalers and multiple different contacts within their company. That drives me nuts. It's like be a little personable, please.
Justin.
Lame. I agree with Greg. Handwritten cards, much better. More
Shady.
personal.
Yeah,
Okay,
handwritten's way
First
better.
off, I'll mention that we at Plan Design Consultants, we don't send anything or do anything like that.
That is not
And I
true.
think
Yeah.
that's based on
Can we
our
talk
fear.
about JD,
What?
JD, we had this conversation and I was talking about how
Holiday cards.
so I was having a conversation with another advisor who, reached out and he was like, hey, can I pick your brain about what you're doing for 2021 planning? I was like, absolutely. I'm happy. I'm an open book. Whoever wants to talk, I'm happy to.
Are you going to shift to actual valuable content in the middle of the lame or game?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
That's how I roll.
Never been done.
I'm
Stick with
getting
me,
baked
dude.
a little bit.
Go far. So he was like, how much money are you spending on clients? I realize, there's regulations and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not, what do you mean? No. And he's like, well, what about like going out to eat, taking clients out to lunch, to dinner? And I go, no. He goes, what do you mean? It's like, that's not the relationship that I'm trying to set or establish with my clients. And, we talked about it from the standpoint of how often does your orthopedic surgeon take you out, for entertainment or to dinner or to lunch? How often does your attorney do that unless they're billing you? It doesn't happen. So if we want to raise the scale because there's also this like whole issue of, oh, well, why don't advisors have the same cloud and recognition that attorneys and doctors? Well, we kind of bring it on ourselves if we lead by trying to entertain every single client that comes our way and wow them. If that's how you acquire a client, then guess what? You have the opportunity to lose the client to the next big wallet that comes in to entertain them.
That was the most valuable lamer game response
Holy
ever.
shit,
in
that was
Lamer Game.
interesting.
He took Christmas cards and took it. No, I want to talk about that when we close this game.
That.
I have some thoughts on that, but I'm going to save them to the end of Mark's game because Mark's gets mad when you step on his toes.
I'm sorry, Mark.
No,
I had to.
Hey,
It struck a nerve.
I get mad when some people step on my toes, but Kate, you've raised the bar.
Josh is
a
in here.
different
Josh
level.
is in
I'm
here.
sorry,
Take it
Josh.
easy.
Don't
The
flirt
whole
with his
other
wife.
level, and I'm okay. But before I end this, as I always do, I got two things to say to one of our guests in the chat bar there. And I'm going to have to drink for this, but I'm going to say it. PCH. First off, buddy, stop wearing sandals with socks. Okay? Number one rule. Secondarily, and this is for everybody to see, I challenge you to a one-on-one basketball game. You're out there driving around in people's homes and scaring them, shooting up hoops. You're on, buddy. And you know what they say.
Hope it's not like your softball game there, Mark.
You know what they say.
Oh, Justin's throwing daggers.
I don't have to swing at anything, dude.
Well,
Mark, with your approval, could you know what they say? Be the Retireholic Goonies slogan.
That's brilliant.
You know what they say.
Yes.
And I want to do it so you freak people out at the conference. You're like walking down and you know what they say. You know what they say.
You know what they say.
Like, what? Who are these fuckers? What are they talking about?
That's good. That's
right.
it, JD.
Let's pick up on Kate's little rant in a slightly different way. I love what you're saying about schmoozing and buying client stuff. By the way, as a TPA, Chad and I are very offended because we're going to reserve. Oh, yep. Gotcha.
Yeah.
We're going to reserve the right to buy advisors stuff and take advisors to golf and buy advisors wine. But it's a little weird when you are doing it to your clients for sure. And so I get that. But let me ask you this. I was talking to you earlier this week and we started the conversation about content marketing or social media. And you were like, screw it. I don't do any of that. I think it's a waste of time. And I think when my clients see me doing, I think they think it's a waste of time. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Man, I'm going to get so much hate on this. Like they're going to
I love this.
That I'm like throwing shade everywhere. I'm not. So kudos to those that are out there killing it on social media.
Don't be a kiss ass first. Just give us your real deal.
No, I think 2020 was a prime example. When COVID hit and it was all hands on deck, it was roll up your sleeves, let's make this happen. And we're going to turn to servicing our clients, right? At the end of the day, that's who pays us. I'm not going to go out there trying to promote to get existing or new clients during this time. I'm going to do what my clients paid me to do. And that's service the hell out of them in times where things are stressful and tough and the market is falling off a cliff. So I'm going to communicate the hell out of it. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to call them. I'm going to email them. I'm going to let them know that I'm paying attention to them because that's what they hired me for. I'm not going
You
to
need
go
to
out
drink.
there and promote social media to try and get new clients during this time. I'm sorry. I don't, the grassroots
I like what you
approach-
said. We were kind of in this world where all of a sudden every advisor was doubling down on like, make a video, make an infographic, do content marketing.
No.
And Kate was like, oh, that's a bunch of crap. And then, you know what I said to her? I said, okay, well, do you not do that at any point in time, like coronavirus aside? Because Will or someone says COVID is a acronym.
Dude, you can't spell it to get around that.
No, because I'm
That's
also
what it stands for.
terrible at that. I'm
But-
equally as dorky in real life as I am in this like business. So, and my husband can like totally attest to this. So my only social media game is my Instagram, where, you know, because of our extracurricular activities, we have like random cool shit that happens. And every now and then I catch a picture or catch a video of it and post that. And that's about it.
God,
PETA-
no wonder you can
PETA
shag
doesn't-
along.
PETA doesn't think killing fish is cool, but
Whoa,
yes,
good
sorry,
catch.
good
Ah,
catch.
shit, that was worth it. That was worth it. To say PETA sucks, I'll drink to that all day.
You made a great point.
I would too if I was drinking Natty Light. Jesus.
You made a great point because I'm huge in that other side of that argument, right? Like I feel like there's so much that can be
On the PETA
accomplished.
argument?
No, well that too, but on the social media, she'll just drink for that all night. On the social media side and the content marketing side, and we can touch on that a little bit, but we're running out of time. But I immediately came back to you and was like, okay, so are you going to tell me that you get all your clients through referrals? And you
100%.
came back and said 100%.
98%.
And I was drinking some of your Kool-Aid because I was like, I get it. Your marketing is to service the hell out of your existing client base. I even went so far to ask you if you had responsible ways of motivating your clients to give you referrals. And you said, no, I'm going to let it happen naturally.
Oh my God, I hate this. I hate this whole, whoever is out there pitching on LinkedIn, this drives me nuts because I get these inbox messages all the freaking time. Hey, can
Automated
I talk to you?
inbox. It's the same thing to everybody.
Yes. Well, not just
Drives me
that, but
batty.
hey, I want to talk to you about, gaining more clients. This is when you have to ask for referrals, your service is shit. Your service should speak for itself, in which a client goes, you know what? That's the company I want to refer to.
Right. They're so excited about what you're doing for them. And I think that
If
that's
you create
true.
a raving fan, that is the best return on investment that you could ever make. I don't care how
And-
much money you spend towards marketing. When you
Instead
have
of
a
using-
client that's a
Yeah.
raving
Go ahead, Chad.
fan, the best dollars ever.
Just let me ask on this topic, and then we can wrap up the social for FAs and kind of what we're going through right now.
I don't have my button up.
Those, yeah, he's watching the Raider game over here.
Yeah.
When I see an advisor who's posting a video, as you mentioned, every single day, and it's a 4 or 5 minute, it looks edited, I start to question whether or not they are servicing their clients. And I will be honest, I've been asked that numerous times by advisors with what we're doing with Retireholics. And it's easy for me to answer because you and Brandon do everything. We show up and we enjoy ourselves and we chat about business and industry stuff and we drink.
Sure, yeah, that's what we do.
But for an advisor who is a solo practitioner or has 1 or 2 people and they are sending out comments on LinkedIn all day, every day with edited videos that you can tell take time, do we really think that that's positive in the eyes of a client?
Yes
So
and no.
let
I
me-
think it depends
can
on
I-
the context.
Can I answer this and then we'll wrap to CBC and then we'll go to a
That
small-
counts. That
Yes.
counts.
And we'll go to a small after show.
There's some really cool, I'm going to step in while you're drinking. There's some really cool
Okay, I'm going to
advisors.
step in while you're drinking.
Go, you're the guest.
Low. There's some really cool advisors that put out valuable content that is important for their clients. And I see this more so in the retirement plan space. The 401k lady is a prime example of this. I think it's amazing the content she puts out.
Dude,
She's
Kate,
got a
Kate,
team of
Kate.
8 though. Like that's
But Chad-
understandable.
Chad,
Kate,
let me
hold on. Hey, oh,
Ah, fuck.
Kate, do you realize that the 401k lady, she sponsors me and my robe? I don't have a
What?
sponsorship from you yet.
Listen,
Yeah, of all people, Kate,
That's impressive.
Kate, look,
JD hates you so much
I know.
right
No, I
now.
don't.
I think Josh
I
would
think
agree
that's
with
so
me.
impressive.
I just
That
want to
we-
respond. I just
We
want
need
to
to
respond.
have
I just want to respond.
Kate Clark, Cypress Capital.
I just want to respond to
Wait,
Chad. Okay. Yeah, I know, Tom. I know I've lost control. It happens once in a while. Okay, listen, Chad. Let me give you an analogy about this advisor wasting their time and the client being upset that this sole practitioner is on social. Okay. You've heard me say this before. If it was the 80s and you looked at Paul Carlson running a company, Paul Carlson would spend a significant amount of time writing an old school newsletter to send out to CPAs and advisors.
That
right?
counts.
Okay. I will keep him up for me. My father would also, he'd sit down, he'd stuff those, put those in envelopes, stamp them, mail them out. He'd set up seminars to where he
And I would wonder what the fuck your father was doing in terms of growing the business and servicing clients.
Yeah, but they would never see
No,
that. They
no,
would
so
never
here's-
know.
But so here's, wait, let me finish this fucking point.
Let
Let me finish this point because this is what my daddy taught me. And I want to make this clear. If that is how you succeed in business, if you do not keep your foot down on the pedal of marketing and fill your pipeline, no one understands that. People that run their own business don't get that. And Kate, you're doing it your own way. I'm okay with that. But what you need to understand, the people that are antisocial, is that the very same activities and hours and effort that my dad spent on the 90s on a hard letter newsletter and doing events at a local hotel and going to his Rotary Club to bump shoulders with people and have a drink, you would never say that he was a bad business person. You would say he was a kick-ass business person for spending shit tons of hours on
And
that.
I would
Well,
with
guess
social
what?
too.
Guess what? The modern day version of that shit is social media.
Yep.
It's more efficient. It's more effective. It's more strategic. It's you get better ROI on it. You can do so many more things with it. I'll drink. All right. CBC vote. Kate, who do you? I got 3. I think I got 3. Kate, who do you want to be CBC champ?
Oh,
That's 4.
Oh no.
Paperback or Kindle? What does that mean?
Oh wait, somebody said Seminoles versus Gators.
Oh,
I hope
good.
they meant go Gators. I'm gonna go with Greg because it's SEC. He went safety on that. So okay.
That counts.
Yeah, that does
That
count.
counts.
And Greg, you were the one saying you have to drink for chat bar, so that's 2 for you as well.
Can Greg win again? Fuck. All right.
Oh, Will, I don't know. Okay, Will apparently did his research. And he did, yeah, I do have a certificate from FSU. I mean,
It is research. That's stalker status right there.
I appreciate a good stalker.
All
I
right.
like that. I think it's a compliment.
So who's your vote, Greg or Will?
Oh man.
I'm gonna say Greg's eligible. Fuck it.
All right.
Will's begging.
Hey, play the Jeopardy sound.
All right, I'm gonna go with Will. Will said he did some research on me. He proved it. He caught my eye with the whole. You
right.
technically went to both. I guess in a technicality, I did. Okay.
All right, Justin, your vote.
I'm going with Hackler, man. He was on it
let's
from
do
start
it.
to finish.
Let's do a show with Kate and Amanda. I think that would be fun.
100%. I don't even know if this
4
thing is.
hours,
I'm in.
dude.
All right, 2 votes, Will. Chad, your vote.
Same. Will's got the
Will?
points tonight.
Oh, I knew you guys were gonna.
No.
You
Chad,
guys
this
don't-
is why you and I are great together.
There's many. My votes count as triple, by the way.
Okay.
Obviously. Sometimes it's not what is said, but what is not said.
Okay.
My vote goes to Josh.
Don't
Clark.
say Josh.
Oh,
Clark.
yeah.
I knew you were going there.
The silent assassin.
Jeez.
He said nothing, but I knew what he was saying the whole time.
Yeah, he's probably rolling his eyes the whole time, like, oh damn, shut up, Kate.
Probably in there killing fish and eating
Just
dinner.
murdering animals left and right, and that's why I love him.
That's
Josh,
the beauty of it.
you, my friend, win.
All right, keep going.
All right. If I had to be honest, my vote should go to Will. He did the best. He wins. I just feel bad. I feel like Greg and Will are like the
Doesn't
Titans, the Titans of CBC. So I think in the off season, everyone needs to keep up in their game. Michael, You're too conservative, man. You're too button up. You got to start kicking over some chairs, knocking over some shit if you want to win CBC. Kate, thank you so much. Like I said, we appreciate getting your insights. And I think if people are paying attention, there's stuff they can walk away with for sure. Good shit, as Chad says. Justin, thanks for manning that chat bar champion, that whole chat bar and helping and responding to everybody. Chad, thanks for all your intelligent comments. Brandon, your production.
The nicest thing he's ever said to me.
It's been phenomenal. Okay.
Is there an after the show or are we losing?
Yeah, not for Mark. They're going to bail and watch the Raiders.
No,
I'll stick around.
He's got it on
It's
right here.
I'm not going anywhere.
Mark already knew my joke. I was just going to move past it, not say anything about it.
I know you were. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Thanks, Katie. I appreciate it.
Thank you to everyone.
Well, next year. Yeah, here we come.
We will see you all next year. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. January 7th, everybody, will be the next show. Have a great Christmas. Have a phenomenal New Year's. And hopefully 2021 turns out a little better than this year. And Brandon, play some fucking music and we'll hang out a little bit after, whoever wants to
Merry
stick
Christmas.
around.
Don't say bye.
He said
2, 3, 4.
Ooh.
Dude, what is Brandon listening to normally?
You cannot tell by his picks.
Like, wow. Brandon, I do want to know the answer to that.
So let me set the scene. It's 2 in the afternoon and 34 degrees. The Queensland harsh summer heat had me sweating buckets up and down my street. As there I spied the bloke, perched atop of his milk crate throne. He eyed me off as I approached, and then he said, I'm on smoko, so leave me alone. 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 So it's Tuesday morning, and my Centrelink hasn't come through. So I pick up the phone because I've got some abusing to do. But all I get is elevator music, waiting on the line, on hold all the time.
All right, Brandon, can we cut this shit?
All I get is elevator music, waiting on the line, till I get a reply. I'm on smoko, so leave me alone.
Josh nailed that little Australian conk. My 18-year-old daughter turned me on to that band.
Nice hair, JD. I like it.
Thanks.
Nice.
All right.
How's my robot doing?
It's good. And I can hear his voice a little better than usual.
How the hell? Josh is on here?
Man of the hour.
Here.
About time.
Wow, Josh, you could have let me know that Kate was going to take over 75% of the show before it happened. I didn't know.
She tends to talk over people sometimes.
It's all good. Oh, Chad.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Who is that?
Chad.
Can't hear you guys.
Who is that?
Yeah, you're on mute.
Yeah,
we know.
Apparently he muted us.
I did not.
This is our newest little addition. We got her on Friday after 6 months of searching for a pup for the kitties. Her name is Riley, which is spelled R-Y-L-E-I-G-H, which is the street we live on. We live on Lee,
Okay.
L-E-I-G-H.
Somebody brings up a point. You should have named her Rona or something like that.
Rona.
A bee?
Hi, Sharona.
Or a
Mark,
walker?
your wife just dropped her in the house, by the way, which is why she has the name.
If I had another kid or a
What is
dog,
it?
I would
Beagle?
name it like Elon Musk names his children.
Joking, right?
No.
Apparently, the dog's got diarrhea, is shitting all over Chad's house.
She's getting outside now, but yeah, she's got, I want to call it dysentery because that's what everybody died from in Oregon Trail when I was a kid. But she's got,
You were on the Oregon Trail?
I don't know, something. Oh, B, I like that. I didn't realize that was actually you.
Does she have her vaccinations?
She's
It's not
she's
parvo,
8
is
weeks.
it?
I mean, she's 8 weeks, so she's super young. She got it apparently from the kennel that she was originally in.
Yeah. So hold on one second. Has she had her parvo vaccination?
I don't know if parvo is a single. I think it's a 1+ booster, but yeah, she's had her 8 weeks
Okay.
vaccination.
Okay.
And then the 9 week one, when I took her in on Monday, they said we won't give it to her until we get her diarrhea in check.
Okay.
Kate, he's not going to grow her and then eat her. They're going to.
No, I'm just making sure she's not going to die tomorrow.
No, Kate, they already did the test. She has I'm blanking on the name, but essentially it's a little parasite that you get from being in a kennel with the dogs. Giardia, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Tony,
That's what goes on the top of a hot dog, right?
Not true.
Tony, you could win Chap Our Champion with that shit. You always save it for the after show. Chad, he goes, Chad, when's the branding? When are you branding it?
Oh my God. JD, you have like pigtails right now. It's fantastic.
That's the brand right there.
Earlier. Nice.
Cars leaving. That ain't good.
I'm gonna think of you and Josh when I watch season 4 of Yellowstone now, even though
Oh,
you're
you
in
should.
Florida. Yeah.
It was
That's
such a good show.
Oh yeah.
Love that show. Are you kidding me?
So I've heard fantastic things, but here's the issue. When I searched it on Apple TV, apparently we had to
Paramount.
buy the Paramount app.
Yeah.
They wanted to charge us on Paramount though.
No, if you
You're
watch
saying you can watch
late
it
enough,
without.
yeah. So if you log in your subscription, like for your TV, like through your, who do you guys have? Dish or
DirecTV.
Direct, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can log in through that and you can watch it.
If someone told me right now that I had never seen that show and I could start from the beginning fresh, I would pay $1,000 for 4 seasons. That's the sickest show ever.
Dang. All right. I'm in.
Part is that
Count me
you've
in.
never seen what's his name, Kevin Costner play kind of a bad role, bad guy.
Yeah.
And he floats between that role left and right.
Yeah.
It's really good. Have you guys watching? Are you watching Peaky Blinders at all? I know it's been around for a
Oh
while.
no, I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
that.
I'm in season 3, or no, the first episode of season 4. I love that shit. How hot is that dude, bro? That guy is
Oh, yeah.
sexy. Yeah.
Totally. So pretty much anything that involves
The
like
pigtails
sex,
have made me feel different.
murder, we're into. We go to bed every night watching investigative discovery, like forensic files.
Let's talk about your guys' romantic life.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Open book.
So what you're saying is the two of you could get away with murder with one another if you needed to.
Honey, if you need to hide a body, we're your go-to people.
Feed it to the
That's
cattle.
the same thing my father-in-law told me when I asked for his
I'll
wife's
send you a
hand.
DM.
Yeah.
He said, Chad, I've got 390 acres on this property and I don't mind living in Mexico.
That's
Okay.
exactly right.
Okay.
Brad, the CP had a question earlier in the show. I don't know if he's still here. I should look. But
Are we still on prohibited word or is that passed?
hell no.
Pass.